Hello YouTube, it's Mystic Elephant here and welcome back to another YouTube video. This video is going to be my first video of 2021, so I wanted to wish you guys a happy new year and I hope you guys have had a wonderful Christmas holiday. So to get this year started, I wanted to make a quick guide for going back to school in 2021. So I know most of you guys are probably going to be either online, fully online, or half online and half going back in person. Probably majority of going back in person is like some colleges and then elementary to high school. So there's that's up to each district, but that's from what I've heard from a few different friends and other parents and people and stuff like that. So, for making this experience the best that it can be, here's a quick guide on what you guys should have to make sure that this year, not only this year is solid, but the following next few years. So the first thing that you guys should probably get is a laptop if you were experiencing anything laggy with either your previous laptop or just an old desktop computer. So why I say laptop, even though desktop is better, it's gonna help. The main thing is portability. So if you're gonna be carrying it in and out of school, this is gonna be the best way to make sure you have a proper working device. And also make sure that it will also be able to handle Zoom and everything else that you throw at it for school. So the minimum specs that I recommend for a laptop is either an i3 or i5 10th and 11th gen processor. If you don't want to go Intel, I would go AMD. AMD Ryzen of I think 3500U is going to be a really solid platform as well. So those make sure that it has that CPU in it for a laptop. Any brand of laptop will work. Make sure it just has that. Make sure it just has that CPU in it because that's going to be able to handle multiple tabs of Chrome open, and then you having being on a Zoom meeting and other stuff like that. If you are going to have any workload or like video editing, multimedia class and stuff like that, where you're going to be doing more computing, I would recommend going up to an H series laptop. Now, either the Intel platform or AMD platform is fine. I again prefer recommend AMD over Intel. The AMD Ryzen 7 4800H is a really good processor and be able to handle all your rendering for your video footage. And the reason why I recommend H series laptop, not only that it can handle those processes better, it'll also be able to handle basic gaming and then be able to last you a few years as well. And you're gonna spend about $1,000 on a laptop like that. But again, over a few years spread, it's gonna be worth the while to spend that money right now. So if that's what you're going for, then I would recommend H series laptop. Now, the second thing I recommend that you guys have is a good internet connection. Most people, I believe, have a 25 megabits per second connection. That's kind of slow, especially for Zoom meeting. I would go ahead and make sure you have a solid 100 megabits per second with at least 10 megabit upload speed. So if you don't know what your speed is, contact the company that provides you your internet, and they'll be able to tell you what your current speed is. And then if you need to upgrade, go ahead and ask them what the price for it. But most of the time now, it's not going to be that expensive to upgrade to 100 megabits per second with 10 megabit upload speed, and that will make sure that your Zoom connection watching videos is not gonna be, doing that whole little circle loading circle thing, and then also you won't drop your connections on a Zoom call or anything else you do. Also, having a hardwire Ethernet connection instead of using Wi-Fi is going to be better, but if you can't access Ethernet, Wi-Fi should be completely fine as well. Just make sure that you're close enough to your router so that you don't have weird connection issues. And the last thing that I recommend for you guys in terms of products and hardware is a printer. So I didn't print much, but I know some people printed a lot this last semester for their online stuff, so I'm gonna be expecting pretty much the same. It's gonna be some printing for people, not as much for others. But getting a printer with a dual-sided, it's like double printing, basically both prints both on the top page and back page at the same time. It's really nice, and I have a printer that does that. It's really nice that it can do that. I don't have to spend the time to pull out the paper, put it back in, and well, flip it back in before putting it back, so that I can reprint on the other side. So that way you save on paper, and then you can have everything sorted nice as well. Put it in a folder, flip back and forth. It's just very nice to have it do that. Also, make sure you get something that copies and scan. Sometimes you're going to be putting a sheet of paper on that scan and uploading it to your teacher or whatever. So make sure that you can scan the piece of paper so that you can download it onto your computer and then upload it. And that's basically all you need for a printer. So the other thing that you guys should probably make sure you have and understand how to use is your schools. It's going to be either Google Classroom or Canvas or whatever, but basically the site that you're going to be viewing your grades and your assignments and due dates and all that. There's a lot of information on that. Make sure you guys know how to use it. Most of the time, the teachers slash professors will post a syllabus on there, and that's going to tell you their contact information, when class is going to be, when exams are going to be, so that you know ahead of time and you can schedule and plan out your time accordingly. So that is really important that you know learn how to use whatever website that your guys' classroom and class is going to be using. Also, with that syllabus comes a very important piece of information for especially for college students. Now, high school students, yes, you guys get textbooks in high school through your school library, but in college, you guys are going to have to pay for your textbooks. So, that syllabus is going to have your class recommendation for textbook, and they will also provide some sites that they believe is the best for getting this textbook. Now, obviously, it's going to be probably either purchasing the textbook from the your school's bookstore or from the publisher, which is going to be a lot more expensive. I would recommend renting out the textbook, either that or renting out a digital copy of the textbook, so you don't have to worry about having the book lying around in your room or whatever for the next 10 years eating dust. Not because I honestly, I personally don't know many people that keep the textbook unless they're going to be handing it down or giving it to someone else in the future. So go ahead and rent that textbook. It's going to be a lot cheaper. You can rent it either through your school bookstore or you can rent it through websites like Amazon and Chegg. I've used all those services before and I've had great experiences with them. Like I've gotten my textbooks, they've been in pretty good condition, not too bang up, not really much written on them, and then I just return them, and there's the end of that. Now there is one other option that you guys can go for, and that is your free textbooks online PDF download. There is a big disclaimer on that. I will say make sure you have a VPN, a virtual private network before you go on those websites and download any like PDF version of your textbook that you can find. Now those sites work, and I've downloaded before, but there's some risks to it. I've heard from other like just reviewing the sites. So if you have a VPN, it'll secure your connection and make sure that they can't get your information from you logging on to their site. So I'm gonna be doing that. Make sure you guys get yourself a VPN before downloading textbooks. And in general, a VPN is just gonna be helpful just if you're connecting to like social media and stuff. It's gonna block any malicious activity and stuff that's going to be trying to hack into your internet. So uh, a few VPN links down in the description below, and I'm going to put the one that I use as well in there. And it's only like a few dollars a month from the subscriptions that I've seen, maybe about 10 a month depending on which VPN you get. But yeah, so go ahead, get a VPN, secure your internet connection, and last thing that you guys probably need is just your typical school supplies, pens, pencils, paper, all that stuff. Hopefully you guys do have those. If you guys don't, I have no idea how you guys have done school like in the past like 10 years. So yeah. So anyways, that is it for my 2021 guide back to school. I hope you guys found this really helpful, and be sure to leave a like and comment down below if I've missed anything in the video. I'll be going ahead and reading all those comments and making sure to see what you guys think I've missed and just commenting and talking to you guys about that as well. So leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers now. I've just recently reached that mark and I'm very excited to have 100 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for continuing to share my videos with your friends and all that. So anyways, good luck in school. Be sure to aim for the top, do your best, get good grades as well, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, YouTube!